Good morning. I got my microphone on, just double checking. Got all my cameras on. It's go time. I got my sunburn showing. I shoved a kind bar in my mouth. I think we should be good to go. Let me give people a minute to find us and see if Facebook is going to play nice today. I swear, if they make me rejoin Facebook again, oh, nope, it's working. Can I edit a live post? I don't know. Let's see. Good morning. All right, let's see if that worked. I don't know. I want to make sure my microphone is where I want it. It is not. All right, I'm going to change my microphone to this one because it's just me in the office today. Good morning, everybody. You know, there should be a link that says accept eCam, and of course there's not. I don't know what to do when you can't accept eCam. That's annoying because I can't see anybody's names. It used to just pop right in there. Maybe it's time for me to try a new software. Hello! It is a Tipsy Tuesday and a So Long together. What do you think of that? I'm much more comfortable doing Tipsy Tuesday. I like leaving all the so-alongs to Laura. It is... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me turn this off. I have a fear that all my batteries are going to die at once. Good morning. All right. I don't see anybody over on YouTube yet, so I could just assume it's working. Yeah, it's go time. Thank you. This is one of my favorites. See? And my string's a little short because I ran out of fabric, but I love it so much. How far did I get last night? I just cut stuff out. I'm trying to pace myself so that on Friday, you know, I'm not just staring at you. How about that? Oh, I'm glad you were able to catch us today, and thank you for the haircut. I donated it. It was something that I had been thinking about doing for a while, and I got over 13 inches on the back, so I'm pretty pumped about that. All right, yay! YouTube is working, but my little, like usually it says YouTube or Facebook so I can see, but it's not showing me. But at least I know that the YouTube names, I can see names. What do you think about that? It is a Key West, so if I do this, I'm not going to flash you. You can see my built-in bra. Is that awkward? I have one that has cups sewn in, but this one doesn't because it has a lot of design, so I didn't have to worry about modesty or anything like that. For people who are just joining us, I'm a really modest person. So this was the same fabric that I used on my journey that I absolutely adored. And yeah, I love it. Even though it's navy and all my bottoms, which is funny, are black. Let's see if I can, yeah, you can kind of see. It's just a black adventure skirt. I'm not sure how that really goes together. So I'm not about to wear white or probably not even red. You know, if you put like the bra portion goes all the way to here. Oh, I just hit my ankle. And so you could put power net in this part too, and bra cups. I mean, you never know. Or you could just, you know what? I saw one person sew in like basically the underwire bra. She just sewed it into the front of it. I think it was this pattern. They all kind of blend together. This is the Key West. I love it. In fact, I actually wore a Key West to Key West. How cool is that? We take our kids on 10-year-old birthday trips, and Miss Jenny decided that she wanted to go to Key West. And so, yeah, we made matching bathing suits. Don't tell anybody, but I made her a matching kids Key West. I'm not coming out with that pattern. I love y'all, but not until somebody, nope, not doing it. Okay. She loved it though. I will say that. How's that? It could. Woohoo! All right, we got quite a. I'm on YouTube. Good. I'm glad it's working. And it does. The Key West does have a built-in bra. So one thing I've realized is that between my own anxiety and all the lights and having the door closed, because at one point the dog is going to start barking at something or someone, it gets kind of warm in here. And I think I just needed to wear as little clothing as possible today. So tomorrow maybe I'll just be in my full out bathing suit. You never know with me. All right, so this morning, so that she's not sitting in the wings too long, we have a guest to join us. We're going to do it slightly differently. Oh, sorry, that's my microphone, and it's tickling me. We're going to invite Sherry first to join us briefly. She's just going to tell you about her experience in the family, and then we're going to get sewing. I actually need to show you a little mistake I made yesterday and talk about why it's a mistake, because I think that's important. All right, let me see if I can actually figure out how to add Sherry. I'll unmute you first. How about that? Or not? Guest is in the green room. Add right. Magic! It worked, Sherry.
Yay, it worked.
All right.
Can everybody see me now?
Yeah, it's a little dark because you're backlit, but turning. Oh, that's better. But now you have to sit up, huh?
Yeah,
We can see
I
you.
do, but that's okay. Yay. Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be joining in on this sew along and share a little bit about 5 out of 4 family that I just love. So, Jessica, did you want to ask questions or do you just want me to ad lib?
However you want to do it. I can ask you the same old, or I just want to hear from you. I guess a little bit of both. Were you one of the founding members?
I think there were maybe 4 or 5 that were before me, but I joined a year ago. So I think
Okay.
that makes me a founding member. Is that what you consider a founding member?
Yeah, the very first time I opened the doors at the lowest
Yes,
price point.
yes,
So actually, before you
yes.
answer this, or before you keep talking, I want to make sure everybody knows. So every time I open the doors to the 5 out of 4 family, the price goes up. And the reason is because it's usually some time has passed, usually about 6 months. And in that time, we have more interviews that are in the content library, more sew-alongs, more. We just have more content to share with you. And so I started at a really, really low price point to where I was actually losing money. And the reason was because it was new, and it was new for me. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, and it was new for people in the 5 out of 4 group. And frankly, kind of new for the sewing community, because there are other memberships out there that you can join, but there's nothing that's quite this interactive and personally quite this special. So it's important for the members who are already there to realize that the price point they came in on is the price point they're going to have for the rest of their time in the 5 out of 4 family. Even as I push up the price, the founding members keep that founding member price. The second wave keeps that price. This third wave will keep this price even. And I have plans to push it, not exorbitant, but much higher than where we started. Let's put it that way. Because even right now at $14.97, you get the credit for a free pattern per month. And that's worth $12 right there. So it's I'm giving you all of this content, the interviews with pattern designers and fabric designers, and all of this other time. And for the low price of $2.97, I'm a Walmart. So sorry, Sherry, I didn't mean to go off on that.
That's okay.
It's occurred to me that a lot of the current members hadn't realized that when they hear I'm raising the price. One person messaged me and was like, "Hey, it went out my membership. What do you call it? Renewed. Thank you. That word was just woo." And but it was at the original price. Don't you need to change it? And I was like, no, you keep that price forever. So that's a pretty big perk to me. Joan, you're
Yeah,
right. It is a Key West. Oh, sorry, Sherry. Go
I
ahead.
think I think today's my renewal date.
Oh,
So,
happy
yeah,
birthday.
it's kind of exciting. Yeah, yeah. It's and yeah, the price point is crazy good for us, especially like you said, 12 patterns, 12 times 12. I can do that math, 144. Well, right now, what is it, 150? So,
Yeah,
still a heck of a bargain.
it is.
So,
And
I
it,
encourage you all to do it.
so, what is your favorite part of the family?
Well, I can't come up with just one. So
Oh,
there are lots of things that I like. Of course, I like the patterns. I like the sewing inspiration. That's what really got me going. But meeting people from all over the world, like talking to Colleen, I guess we were talking um, a couple of days ago about what the weather's like in Perth. When else do I have a chance to talk about the weather in Perth and what she wears in Perth and learn about
and where Perth
the
is. Let me be
jumper?
perfectly honest.
Exactly. And then Sydney too. I mean, up in Canada, you think that Canada is so similar to the United States, but like she gets way different weather than what we get in Dallas. It's like already 90 here this year. I'm speculating that Cindy hasn't seen 90 this year.
Or will
So
she?
yeah. Or will she? Right. So I love meeting all the different people and learning about different cultures that way. I love the interviews that you have, like with Leslie at Discovery Fabric, and what is the zipper lady? What is her
Oh,
store called?
Annabelle with My
Um,
Handmade
my
Space.
yes. So the interviews are crazy good, and then the other thing, like Michelle said yesterday, it doesn't matter when you come to the group and you post a question. There's already somebody who has the answer, and the group is so big and so diverse. Somebody has been down that street. Somebody has made the same mistake. Somebody's experienced the same illness or family trauma or joy, and it makes everything easier. It makes the road that we're on, the path that we're taking, a much more enjoyable place to be because you've got comrades. So I guess not just one thing, lots of things. There you go.
Well, Colleen actually sent me a calendar, and it had like it has different pictures and whatever, and it's right behind my desk. And my office is right here in the main part of the house. I mean, it is like definitely public space, which is I'm not a decorator. Anyway, I'm a hoarder. But my kids come in and have started asking questions, and one of them was this special tree that's in Australia, and we ended up like looking it up online and talking about it, and it was just amazing. And Australia is on my bucket list. And my husband was joking. He's like, "So, are we planning a retreat in Australia? So then it's a business trip? Like, how are we going to make this to work?" And even with my oldest, Reevy's talking about being a foreign exchange student, a Boab tree. I almost called it a Baobab. I was like totally off. But anyway, um, but my oldest Reevy is thinking about being a foreign exchange student. And I feel confident that wherever she picks to go, I will know somebody. So if there is like, I'll just, it's a like a little layer of, okay, I know somebody within a X number of hours. If there's a national emergency, somebody can help me find, it's these things that keep me up at night.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Like taking the huge world and like we do have members from all over the world. We would love to see our UK numbers grow because, especially like we did a gift exchange over the holidays, and I personally am having issues with customs. It has not been the best experience, and even with peer groups, getting the time zones right. I mean, it's their flexibility mixed with some of our members' flexibility has really helped gel everybody together. Like I'm really enjoying the diversity.
Yeah, I love that too. It's great.
Yeah. So what else do you
I
like?
was I like to learn all the different like I've sewn a long time. but I've never sewn knits until I started with 5 out of 4. And so I like to learn new sewing skills, and I like to learn how to fit better. And I'm driving my family crazy because I'm saying, "Do you want this? I can make this. I can try this, but you have to wear a muslin first, so I can try that out." And just all the different skills that I've learned and tried. So I enjoy that. And the 5 out of 4 family keeps me sewing. I'm just not collecting patterns or fabric. Now I'm actually using them. Whoa!
It's a miracle.
It is. It is. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't participate in too much of the book clubs or the peer groups, but I'd like to. Work is crazy. I don't know how working mothers do it and do all the extra things that you have going on with the 5 out of 4 family. But when I retire, I'm looking forward to joining those too. So I'll be around for a while.
I like hearing that. Well, I know for me that one thing last night was different because my husband was trying very hard to keep the children upstairs and out of my hair. But I think everybody in the 5 out of 4 family, and probably the normal Facebook group too, has met my entire family by now. Because, and I know that on Thursday, right, my days are all mixing together this week. I thought today was Tuesday, and then I realized that no, it's not, it's Wednesday. Anyway, but on Thursday we go live at 2 o'clock. Well, my kids get off the school bus at 2:45, so I can guarantee you that the first, like I usually meet them at the school bus, so they're gonna come in and be like, "Why were you there?" But it's that ability to like know that it's okay. I mean, I love babies and I love kids, and they come and interrupt me 6,000 times and ask me for food and electronics, but then we just keep going, and it's just part of life. Like for me, it's all about balance. I try and do some of the nighttime book clubs, especially I tend to have a little bit better luck on Sunday night if I don't forget. But then I'm trying to do some book clubs in the middle of the day. I know it doesn't work for working parents or working people, but it's just I don't have to balance quite so hard, because the bedtime, like we do dinner, like activities, dinner, bedtime routine. It's like woo, and then it's 9 o'clock, and here's me. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
I'm ready to get in the bed.
right.
Oh, but it's fun. I like the. Have you taken part in one of the live sew-alongs?
No, but I'm scheduled to do the bag sew along that we have coming up.
Oh, that
So
Cheryl's doing.
yes, yes. I've never sewn a bag.
Oh,
Um, yes, so I'm a neophyte, and I'll just be stumbling along through it and trying to figure it out. And
that's the best
yeah,
way.
I'm like, I didn't even know where to get bag parts, but now I do. So another thing to add to my collection of sewing stuff, bag parts.
Now, what did you sew before you came to 5 out of 4?
Wovens, dresses, shirts, shorts, everything woven, never knit. And so, yeah, I did some quilting, some t-shirt quilting, and upholstery. I would reupholster. Yeah, I'd pick things up on the side of the road and reupholster them. And is that what you did?
Yeah, that's my chair, and the most expensive chair in my house.
Yeah.
I used an Amy Butler fabric, and I'd never reupholstered anything before. And I actually like
Right.
ripped off everything, and then left it like that for a year, which was a terrible choice because I
Oh,
forgot like what to do. But I was just scared of doing it, and then I started collecting more chairs to do. So I'm on a
yeah. This year, my goal is to get rid of some of the chairs that I've redone, just because, like, I don't have any place to walk because it's full of chairs in here. And my kids are like, "Yeah, no, we're not taking any more of your chairs."
Oh, funny.
So,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
that's my goal to get rid of
I
some
love it
chairs.
though. Like this is a very like a great pop of color. I love adding my own thing. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
we actually bought our dining room table used from like the previous
Mhm.
owner of our last house. And then my kids
Mm.
just annihilated the pretty fabric that she had put on the chairs. And so I was like, all right, it's time to learn how to just do the seat cushions. And my husband went with me to this huge warehouse of upholstery fabric here. And he picked out this one that was like stain resistant, good solid color, but he went a little crazy on the color. He picked two, like one was orange and one was dark turquoise, which I was like very impressed that my color adverse husband went with. But then he made the mistake of like, I don't know if he went to the car before I checked out or something. So I bought llamas that happened to match.
Llamas.
And then he didn't even notice until I had recovered the chairs, and it was like orange turquoise llama, orange turquoise, and now the llama is his favorite one. I'm like,
Oh, that's great. That's great.
but
Was
I
that
love
in
little
hopes of
small
going
things
to
like that.
Peru?
What?
I said, do you want to go to Peru? Is that why you have the
I would
llamas?
I I would love to. Oh my gosh. I love traveling. I miss traveling so much. And so
Oh, yeah.
definitely a dream is to get in an RV, go around the United States and be like, Sherry, we're going to be in Dallas today. And then just be able to like meet
Yay!
people on the like 5 out of 4 path. I mean, oh my gosh, it would be so much fun.
That would be great. That would be great.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep you here all day. Did you have anything else you wanted to share with us?
No, I think I've summed everything up. So I'm just ready to do the next step in the sew along. I'm making myself a Virginia tank for the first time with the built-in bra. So,
Yeah,
woohoo!
let's hope I
Teach
don't
me
mess
more,
anything up today.
Jessica. Yeah, right. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for joining me.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I think I cut her off too early. That was my first time using the interview software that came with this program. So that's kind of exciting. Um, I'm kind of impressed with myself, not going to lie. Before, I would always use Skype, and it's hit or miss on whether or not people actually have Skype. You want to see a picture of my chairs? I can do that. Not right this second because they're like at least 30 feet away. You know how that goes. All right, so, whew. Oh, Colleen's making me have a panic attack. So, I wasn't going to name any names, but somebody, my, all right, I'm totally going to name names. Actually, it was really helpful. As much as I like to give Colleen a hard time for calling out when I make a goof, I really appreciate it because this is anxiety right here. What you're witnessing. No, don't hang your head. No hanging heads. I need people in my life who tell me when I'm doing something wrong. And hopefully tell me when I'm doing something wrong a little more nicely than the way I tell myself. Does that make sense? Do you feel me? I don't like this light that's like right above me. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, um, it like don't hang your head because you're 100% right. So let me switch to the correct camera. Oh, I just realized, look at that. You can see my hands now. That doesn't help me. So I was trying to do, oh gosh, do it this way. We'll just keep it like that. You can see all of my thread where I was trying to find one that went with It's My Halo. I'm Beyonce. I love that song. Oh my gosh, Colleen, now I'm like, I knew this was going to happen. No, yeah, this is it. All right, let's see. Let me move. I don't want to get my drink too close to my computer because there's always a good chance I'm going to knock it off. Deborah, I try very hard not to have negative self-talk. And I tell my kids not to have negative self-talk. And I'm not going to cry on camera. Okay, so we're done talking about that. I love these butterflies. These are, again, from Hawthorne Fabrics. It's the Indie Bloom design. This is not as bad as I expected, actually. I'm like looking at it. All right, so here's how, this is the fold. Can you see this? Yeah, you can. And up here, you can see that the edge of the butterfly is a 1/2 inch, right? Wah, wah, wah. That is not the best. I know you told me, but these things matter. And last night, in my haste to not fight with the fabric, I was like just trying to make sure there weren't obvious like ripples in it. You know how sometimes you like fold fabric obviously off grain and it makes these like that, right? I was trying to like smooth out that, and I was chatting, and okay, I had a drink in my hand. I was not paying close enough attention. Open it up. Yes, ma'am. So it's not horrible. I will say that. Let me grab a longer. I got things in the way here. So you can see it with this butterfly too. It is. It's only about 1/2 inch. That's why. It's okay. I mean, it's too late now. I've already recut it. Cutting stresses me out too, especially with something like, let me pull out. I can actually hear Kelsey right now telling me, this is why you need a projector. Something like this, I spend an inordinate amount of time. Or, I'm trying to find the rainbow fabric. Here it is. It is forgiving, except on like, you don't want, the butterflies look random, but they're not. Hearts are pretty easy. Here's the, oh gosh, can you imagine if I did it upside down and crooked? Good grief, just kill me now. So yeah, when I'm cutting out a shirt and I'm trying to get it straight, I will honestly say that one of the reasons I'm willing to pay for nicer fabric, and hopefully less of it, is because in the past, I think it looks great. Oh, Diane, it's not a terrible problem. The only issue is you want things to be cut on grain, which is the grain of the fabric are the ribs that run this way. And my whole image is a little wonky. And the reason is that affects things like twisting when you're talking about a pant leg. It can also affect the drape, how it hangs off your body. And for really obvious things like stripes, it can affect, you know, just when you're looking at it, that type thing. Colleen's right. It wasn't terribly off, just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm not even like and it's hard here because the, nothing's square. Anyway, all right. Sherry, you were lovely. I really appreciate you joining me. I think it's hard to be interviewed. It's nerve-wracking, just like it's nerve-wracking. If you go back and watch my very first Tipsy Tuesday videos, it's ridiculous. First, I'm like sitting in the dark. And then I think I probably did start crying in the first like 2 videos. Yeah. Let's move on, shall we? All right. You know what? Really quickly, I'm making sure everything is off. If you are, can you send my 12-year-old, Miss Jenny, some positive energy? Just real quick. I'm asking for it. You know, if you're a reader like I am, you know, you get things that you ask for. Just real quick. That would be great. She could use it today. So today I want to focus on the bodice. And frankly, I'm going to pull up the directions and go pretty much step by step so that I don't miss anything or mess up anything live. I would appreciate some grace because this is my second sew along ever that I've either participated in or led, like second ever. So we can only get better from here, right? Woohoo! All right. So, thank you, Melissa. And I hope your golf tournament went well. I was thinking of you. You need to come do one by me so I can come watch golf. Actually, I really want to learn how to play golf because I have retirement goals that involve traveling in golf. All right. Let me go back to this camera So you're just going to have the talking head. I did have some excellent feedback yesterday from Skillshare, so I'm pretty excited about that. Wait a second. What is happening here? Oh my gosh, guys. I almost made another mistake. All right. I had some feedback yesterday from Skillshare on my first 3 videos for my class that I'm working on for over there. And it was excellent feedback. And my new target date, because I'm behind, cough, cough, is June 15th. So I am really... Do you get your Skillshare? No, I haven't yet, Jenny. I've shot most of it. I filmed most of it, but I haven't finished. And really because I had to focus on Malia and, One Track Mind. Just couldn't quite get it done. I wanted it done in the first quarter, but you know what? This is fine. The feedback they gave me was really helpful. It's going to help it look much more professional. I definitely need the fun people, Melissa. All right, I'm trying to scroll down on my own screen. That's amazing. I'm making sure I haven't missed. Thank you, Deborah. You're right, Jacinda. But I didn't want anything negative keeping me from wearing it. You know what I mean? Like even when I know, it's just, yeah, it's important. All right, so I'm going to head over to Acrobat, which means I cannot see Facebook names. Editing is definitely what takes forever, especially when you're a perfectionist. I know that. That's Colleen. That's only Colleen. This is the front. Thank you. I made the back lower because I bend over a lot and chase children, and I don't like to have everything on display. So there you go. It makes the side seams or the seam allowance naturally go toward the back. That's why you put the front on top. Sorry, I'm getting random messages. All right, so number 1 in the tank top says, sew front bodice to back bodice, right sides together at the shoulder seams. Interesting. Oh, shoulder and side seams. I knew it was Colleen. Oh. I think Colleen and I, sorry, I'm getting this camera ready. I've got another camera for you today. And it's my first time using it. So let's see. Interesting. So I have to hit this button. Look at that. All right, so I'm taking my, this is really zoomed in, and I'm wondering if you're just going to be able to see my arm. Maybe. So one thing that I need to do is pull up Facebook without sound so I can see the comments. Because now that I'm over at my machine, I can't see anything. That's the hardest part, I think. Oh my gosh. Nope, that's yesterday's video. Oh my gosh. And of course, Facebook is making it hard. Am I right? All right, there we go. Now I can see at least one comment. There you go. So I'm going to double check for Colleen's benefit that I have the front on top. My front neckline is higher. So I do. I even remembered to rethread my machine with, well, I did white and I did my, just making sure you can still see me. Looking good. All right, it's about to be loud in here. Sorry. No, this video is not sponsored by Baby Lock. They turned me down. I do just chain them together. I don't worry too much about it. And then I can thread. Check this out. Isn't that neat? It fits right in there. You can just see my hand. Should I go the other side? I think it's all right. But Chris Shapiro has a friend that makes these with a 3D printer. And it's made especially to fit the baby lock ovation. It was a gift. I think that's so sweet. All right, so I'm doing the side seams now. When you're sewing with a knit, it's really important. I should be even more diligent, but I'm on camera and I'm stressed. Just take a deep breath. It's really important that you don't pull your fabric one way or another. So I'm going to keep my front on top. And again, we're doing this just because it naturally helps the side seams and everything go toward the back. One problem I have, oh, you can't see where I'm pointing. Hold on. There we go. Is that better or worse? Stella likes to come over here and like, yank this up and down, and I'll start sewing and not even notice. I can still only see one comment, so I apologize if I'm missing anybody. I'm going to try clicking on this. Yank this up and down. All right. Oh, now I can see more. Joan says my machine sounds great. Joan is like the, yeah. She can tell machine is like something's wrong with it. This is actually the one, Joan, that probably needs a tune-up. I just took the Triumph in. All right. Well, it's telling me like who's what. I've lost 10 people just in the time I went to the machine. Whisper. That's funny. All right, let's go back over to the computer. This is a lot of juggling. And then I have to sit down so you can actually see my face. All right, so all I'm going to do right now is trim my threads and hit the correct links in the tutorial so I know where I'm going. Right? So far, so good. So, Wendy, I used the Brother 1034D for a very long time. And then maybe about 3 years ago, maybe just 2, my friend Sarah Unthink bought a baby lock and was telling me about it. And I thought, I need to get me one of those. So I did. Yeah. And I did not regret it. Man, like that baby lock ovation, they don't make the ovation anymore. They switched to just the Triumph. And it's tiny things that are different. Let me switch cameras here so you can see. How fun is this though? You can actually see what I'm working on. All right, so this is my power knit. It is surprisingly soft. It is softer on one side than it is on the other, but not horribly so. But this is from Brawmaker's Supply up in Canada. And I'm going to find my clips. Oh, my camera battery is dying. All right, so come back to me for just a second. I'm going to switch that out. This is the hard part of having all this electronics hooked up to the computer. All right, give me 1 second. Look at that preparation. Yeah. I got it, Jenny. Do the little Brad Pitt dance. All right, so as I was saying, This is my box of clips that I got on Amazon for like $8. And I'm going to I'm going to do this. You know, I think Baby Lock, I think they should sponsor me. But I did ask and was politely turned down. So the reason I'm going to clip this one, and I didn't bother clipping the other one, is because this is a little bit more slippery. You know, maybe I should actually read the directions. Whew, stressful. All right, so it says if I'm adding foam cups that I need 2 front bra pieces. I hadn't really decided, I'll be honest. So for right now, I'm just going with what I'm going with. I do love the little box. The only thing I don't like about the box is I wish, here's the top. I wish it like fit around the bottom, you know, so I didn't have to like, where's my fabric glue? It's over there somewhere. I like clips. Oh, that's true though. So this is another little tip. People are gonna wonder why Colleen's not doing this video. Am I making right now, Patty? Or are you talking to Cindy? Oh, I think that's a response to Cindy. So this is, I'm reading this. I gave away, there you go. These are Sew Line glue markers, and it is still sticky. And it works very well. As much as I like to harass Colleen. She hit the gold on this. In fact, all right, Colleen, fine. Good point. I'll give it to you. I'm just making a regular built-in bra because my nursing days are over, but despite my addiction to babies. I love this little thing. And you know what's great is my kids don't take it because it looks like a marker, which you'd think they would take that, but they haven't really noticed that part of it. Whereas if it were just a regular looking glue stick, they would take it and leave the top off, and I would lose my mind. All right, so now we're ready to do our bra sewing, just the tops and the side seams again. I'm going to skim through this and make sure that I'm not missing anything. Front bra and back bra. This is actually my back bra on top here. So front bra has the higher neckline. Yep, I'm just sewing the edge. And yeah, I know how to do this, but I figure like it's a good idea to do it with you, you know? All right, so now I'm gonna switch back over to the sewing machine, or the serger I mean, and sew this together. First I gotta turn it on. So I can't have the cameras plugged in at the same time as the, like I can't have them plugged into their chargers at the same time as they're plugged into the ATEM, which is how I'm switching between the cameras. So yeah, I'm just praying that my battery, that's why I keep turning it off in between, although I didn't turn off my camera. All right. Woo, don't eat that. Yeah, saw that coming, didn't you? Youch. All right, well, that was fun while it lasted. Glad I didn't lose a finger. Yeah. All right, well, now I get to dig through all my needles and find a new one. Margaret, it is. I love babies. Jenny, do y'all have a do y'all have a 3D printer? We do not. So I don't have experience with this. I think Robin does, right? But I think it takes a long time. I'm telling you, I am not a techie. I'm not a first, what do you call it? A first adopter. Sherry, I think at some point that's not a good thing, but I didn't drop the F-bomb live, so you got that going for you. Not that I would have, Mom. Not that I would have. Oh, we're just rethreading from the beginning here. Ugh. There we go. I have no idea, Jenny. This would be a question for Chris Shapiro, because I think it's her friend. I don't think it was her husband. I think it was her friend who made this one. But I would reach out to her. She's definitely still, like, she's not sewing, as a tester or anything like that, or a promoter anymore. But she's definitely still posting. Okay. Everybody, I just need to take a deep breath here. Why? You know how when you rush sometimes it just gets worse instead of better? It's like a lesson. Well, Cindy, some people actually get on to me, not naming names, for not being more professional. But I feel like what I'm passionate about is making people realize that anybody can improve their sewing. That's the joy of air threading, by the way. That's why you pay a heck of a lot of money for this machine. Okay, you want to know what my kids do take? Are my tweezers. But I'm passionate about making sure people realize that, like, I'm not perfect. And I can help them improve, but I also am human. And a lot of stuff gets in my way. So yeah, I make sure you see all that. Especially one of my favorite things is bloopers. I like to share bloopers. Oh wait. Facebook Live is cracking me up, or whatever I'm looking at on my phone, so I can see the comments, because it has told me. You would think that Melissa Short Spencer is the only person watching, because it has told me 100 times. Very true, Cindy. I agree. I think there is a difference between professional and manufactured. We're all doing the best we can. But my goal here isn't to make it seem like I'm a perfect sewist and nothing bad ever happens and blah, 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 blah. My goal is to help you realize how you can improve, right? Margaret, I use tweezers to thread when I can actually find the tweezers. How about that? All right. So moving right along, going back to my bra here. I think that's actually what's wrong with this ovation. Not what's wrong with it, but I think I just need the knife replaced or the knife sharpened, something like that. Heidi, I think that is an awesome testimonial. Heidi, you've taken a lot of opportunities to grow with us too. All right, I'm going back over to my cutting table. For a cup of what? That's my question. All right, now it's time to get out your elastic. I would love some straw. I don't know about pie. I'm much more of like I don't know. I like some pie. In all my brainiac ways, I decided to like thread the elastic underneath a row so it wouldn't become unraveled when it fell off wherever I had it precariously balanced. All right, I'm hitting my microphone now because I'm actually wrapping this elastic around myself. I tend to not do it tight enough because I don't want it too tight, but I'll be honest, I don't need support. So let's say it said 29 inches. Let me see what I actually cut mine at. Oh, look at that, 29 inches. Amazing. All right, cut your underbust elastic. Done. Use your own. Got it. Overlap by 1/2 inch. Use a zigzag or a stretch stitch to sew the 2 ends together. Quarter and pin your elastic. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so here's where I'm just following up on the comments, making sure I'm not missing any questions. All right, so one thing, I want this side against my skin, okay? This is the softer side. I don't want the seams touching me. So I'm gonna sew my elastic in a circle. I just turned on my sewing, maybe I didn't. Oh, why is my sewing machine? One moment, please. Oh, it's unplugged. Weird. Oh, from the storms. Sorry. Oh, all right. Had a minor freak out right then that my sewing machine wasn't coming on because it's new. Okay, so I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine, which I'm going to have to finagle the chair and the camera a little bit. It'll feel like you're on a roller coaster. All right, and then I'll do this over there. I just want to make sure that everybody knows what I'm trying to show you. So we're sewing it in the round. And before I get over there, I'm actually going to mark center front and center back with clips. I don't like to assume that the side seams are the quarter points because different sizes and different bust sizes will have different things here. Me and my A cups. Oh, you know what? Come back to me for just a second. I just thought of something. Why isn't it coming back to me? Oh, I gotta switch here. Okay. I'm not really wearing the best shirt for this demo, but we're going to do it anyway, and it's going to involve me hitting the microphone, so it's going to get a little wonky. But I'm going to slip this on. And the reason I'm slipping it on, it suits me. I feel like I could go on MTV like this and not anything else. See, why am I like that? All right, the reason I wanted to come to slip this on real quick is because if you remember, I lengthened this. It's not because of my bust size. I lengthened it because of my bust length. And so now you can see that this is just a way for me to make sure that this is the right length. Because if my bust is way up here where, maybe a normally, I don't like the word normal, but a differently proportioned person is, then this might be too long. And what I don't want to have to do is serge the elastic on, fold it up, and realize it's way down here, right? Your bra should never be way at the bottom of your ribs. It needs to be right at your underbust to provide support. So I'm trying it on, Okay. All right. This is actually perfect for me. Suplex and Power Mesh recommendations of places to purchase. Oh, it's always a bonus when I don't take off my other shirt at the same time. What do you think of that? All right, let me remark center back here. Whew. So this Power Mesh, again, is from Bra Maker's Supply. It is thick and very lovely. I've tried, I'm not impressed with the one from Joann unless they've improved it in the last few years. They used to call Power Mesh just their like athletic decorative mesh. It's not supportive. The real giveaway is like when you're holding it vertically, it shouldn't have a lot of stretch, okay? So that's important to remember. All right, so yeah, Bra Maker Supply. So Sassy has some. I've bought some from there before. Where else? Joan, you used the one from Fee Fabrics, right? I don't have any experience with that one, but I'm pretty sure. And if anybody wants a fun group to join, is Spandex Doesn't Scare Me. I love that group because the women or the people in that group, it's not just women, the people in that group are doing like really fancy stoned costumes, like ice dancing and stuff. Blows my mind. Okay, let's go over to the sewing machine. Like I said, you're going to get a little camera magic over there. That's my serger, so let's move stuff around. I got to be careful of the cords. Wait, oh gosh, and making sure it doesn't knock out of the... Okay, there's my sewing machine, but unfortunately my chair is not there. Let me move. As Miranda would say, or not Miranda, but her friend, bear with. I'm coming. Yeah, cord management is a challenge, just saying. Oh, this is good. I can actually see my computer here. Is this zoomed in enough? Look at that. You can see all the junk behind. That's my UFOs back there if you can see them. I forgot my elastic though. Nylon tricot spandex is wicking. Discovery has... Oh, I actually want to re-interview Leslie Haynes for summer fabrics because we did it for winter fabrics, and I think that would be really impressive or interesting. Kwame Homecrafts is excellent for power mesh. Good to know. All right, I'm actually going to switch to just a regular zigzag, and it's black. Wah, wah. Since my, it'll bother me. I'm sorry. I'm not prepared to use my sewing machine. Let me get white thread without knocking over my iPad. All right, here we go. Actually, I don't know if you saw it in the other shot, but up on my wall to my left. Oh, bye, Sherry. Thank you again. The kids made me some thread holders a few years back, and like my husband helped them and painted them and everything. And they're so cute. So for everybody who is impressed with the air threader, this one actually has an automatic threader, and it didn't work from the get-go. And a smart person would have immediately taken it back to the shop, blah, blah, blah. But my shop is not close by. And, you know, I have kids. So I just never did it, unfortunately. Okay. We are ready to sew our elastic in the round. I like to do a rectangle on my elastic. You do you, boo-boo, however you like to do it. I'm gonna go get a pastry, Melissa. Bye. Jenny, I have I have 3 cameras going. And that toy that I showed you the other day, the ATEM Mini, is how I'm switching between 2 of them. And I can actually switch between up to 4. So one part of that puzzle that didn't come yet was a new webcam. That way I can leave the Canon up where it is. All right, so make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah. I'm now going to clip my elastic. I'm actually going to clip it to the outside on the same side as the seams and make sure I'm putting, hold on. Yeah. I don't want to sew the overlap portion to the front. I want to put it on the back. So I'm going to clip it to my back. Oh, 2 hours, wow. And then I'm going to find the center front and match it to the center front of my bra. Same with the sides. So I am putting the elastic on this side, and then I plan to roll it up and encase it. And then when I put it in the dress, the seams and the elastic will all be away from my body. So the only part touching my body will be the soft side, no seams or anything. It's nice. All right, now I'm going to go back over to my serger. Let's see if I can slide. There we go. That worked well. We good? Make sure you can't just see just my arm. I apologize if that's what it ends up. It's very hard for me to know what you can see. Partly because I'm watching on Facebook and it's delayed. I don't do it that way. You know what? I'm gonna turn off my knife though. I like the control I have from having it this way. So I love you, Colleen, but I'm not doing it. Later on, you can tell me why you're right. And I will listen, but I'm gonna do it the way I'm comfortable doing it with because I'm on camera. Okay, so now I'm gonna make sure that I'm stretching just my elastic and not my fabric. I probably should have changed my needle thread to white, but it doesn't really matter. Nope, I had that right the first time. You can just see my arm. I hate that. Cindy. All right, so there's my bra serged on, or my bra elastic serged on. Now I'm going to roll it up, and instead of switching over this to a cover stitch, my other machine is unfortunately still set up with random thread colors. So I'm going to go back over to my sewing machine. And I'm just going to do a zigzag. Roll it up so it's firm against the folded edge. And I want to try and get those wrinkles out. So I'm going to stretch the elastic just a little bit to get those out. Make sure you're not just staring at just my hand again. Making sure my seam allowance is going the way I want it to. This is where you could start using a, what size zigzag? You know, this is just the standard when I hit the wide zigzag. It is 3.5 millimeters wide by 1.4 millimeters long. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. Margaret, I'll be honest, it's sort of like cars that way. Maybe not, though. Maybe people like loud cars, but it's the less you hear on the inside with a more expensive car. This is a brand new machine for me, and by far the most expensive machine I've ever owned, and I do love it. I love it. So the reason I'm stretching the elastic just a little bit is I don't want these ruffles. Can you see this? Yeah, right here. So I try and just stretch it just enough to keep the edge firm. I don't want excess fabric along this edge here where my pinky is. And I want to make sure it's smooth. But if I overstretch it, if I stretch it too much, then I run the risk of, you know, things getting off like that and you get different kinds of wrinkles. My sewing machine is a Baby Lock Aria. Just making sure I know where I'm going. I'm just back stitching. One thing I love about this machine is it has the little scissor button. It's amazing. I haven't had that before. So then I just have to trim them just a smidge. Good morning, Lauren. All right, so let's switch back over to the other camera. I'm gonna try and get there without knocking anything over. Makes me wonder on TV sets, like just how much, how many wires and stuff that we don't see, right? All right, I'm going to my, this is probably the hardest part that we are gonna do today. Now it says, with your bodice and bra right sides out, slip your bra into the bodice. So I'm doing this slightly differently. Sorry, not sorry. Let me turn this right side out. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do first? I'm gonna press my bodice. Now, don't judge me for my really dirty pressing cloth. I don't think I have a camera over there, so you have to actually we'll turn it this way. Now you can see my cup, and I can't zoom it or anything, but you can see me. Why do I have this light here? One does wonder. More cords. Okay. I'm waiting for my iron to heat up. So I am pressing. There is a difference between pressing and ironing. Also important skills. The reason I'm pressing right now is because it just makes everything look nicer at the end. That's the bottom line. If you don't like the way I'm pressing, go press your own things. I'm gonna make sure that my seams are pressed toward the back because that's where I like them. You can't see it over here, but I have a drawer pulled out on my cabinet, and I actually set the body of the bodice in, like, on top of the drawer because it's filled with files. And that way it's not like pulling down the bottom of the tank, and it's not stretching anything out. This is my really gross press cloth. It does not get anything on my fabric, but it keeps my fabric safe from my really gross iron. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the side seams. Is this necessary? No. Does it result in a handmade product versus just a homemade product? Yes. Does that make homemade sound derogatory? I don't mean that rudely. It's just yet another way to, like, really up the ante on your handmade items. I cannot, what's the word I'm looking for? Emphasize enough how important I think ironing is. Oh, there are some comments that I've missed. I don't know if I saw that video. That's on my list though, that's funny. Did I make that video? It's bad when I can't even remember. Oh, somebody's calling me from Dallas. Sherry, that's not you, is it? I'm actually gonna press the front here. It's got some wrinkles on the front. They'll just come back while I ball things up, but you know, it's the little things. So when you're ironing, you go back and forth, and it can actually stretch the fibers out. So if you're quilting, you really just want to press, because when you stretch anything out when you're quilting, what ends up happening is your corners don't meet when you're going to sew all your quilt squares together. And it can be a very frustrating experience. Ask me how I know. All right. Thank you for that brief moment of perfectionism. Just taking care of my stuff here. Can't see my face. Oof. Although actually I'm going to switch back to this camera. I'm reading all the comments. I leave my ironing board out, and I don't like that either. It took me forever. I can't see the name of who said I just need a new machine. But it took me forever to finally get a new machine. And what finally did it is I was in the middle of shooting the videos for the swim workshop. Now, the swim workshop is one of our very first courses here at 5 out of 4, and it walks you through how to make a swimsuit. And as I was doing it, I really wanted to do a whole swimsuit in just my sewing machine, on just my sewing machine. Oh, interesting. Sorry, I'm reading the comments again. But I was attempting to do that. I was attempting to sew a whole swimsuit, and my sewing machine, oh my gosh, it was just so many little things. And it was already getting to where you would, oh, Jacinda needs a new machine, yeah. It was already getting to where I would turn it on and sometimes the computer wouldn't turn on. And yeah, I finally just bit the bullet. And I went in for the Aria, or because I was pretty sure that's which one I wanted. And I ended up with a Triumph too. So yeah, I took advantage of the no interest. But they're all paid off now, and it's beautiful, and I love them. Okay, so one thing, the reason I haven't clipped this together, I'm clipping together, I put my bra inside my bodice, and the reason I'm ignoring the instructions, I'm a very sensitive snowflake, and I don't like seams touching my body. So if you're like me, feel free to put your bra right side in, so the wrong side of the bra is touching the wrong side of your main fabric. When I go to line up my shoulder seams, I'm actually putting the seam on my bra forward and the seam on my bodice back so that it's less bulky as I go to sew over it. You know what, I will tell y'all a secret because we're doing this in the spirit of the 5 out of 4 family. Love Notions is having a sale right now. They rarely have sales. And as part of that, they're doing a giveaway for a Baby Lock sewing machine. I'm almost positive it's a sewing machine. I haven't paid a ton of attention because I was getting ready for this, but you should go check it out. And Tammy can thank me later for this little advertisement. I love Tammy, but that's an awesome giveaway too. So there you go. All right, I'm now finding center front and center back and clipping those together. And then I'm going to go look at my directions, see what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, I actually tell you on the directions, if you're making the seamless feel bra, then you'll have your bra wrong side out. So I didn't totally go off there. This is where I should have already cut my neck bands out, but I didn't. Oh well. A BL Brilliant. There you go. That's a great giveaway. All right, so I have it inserted in. It's okay that it's not lining up right there. It will when everything is sewn together. I'm going to go ahead and baste these because I think it'll make it less stressful when I'm going to put the band on. So I'm going to baste it around the arms. Sorry, I'm clipping this together too. And around the neckline. Then I don't have to deal with clips and my bands and everything shifting all at once. It's these little hacks that keep me going. You know what? At the underarm, I'm just clipping away. Go back to this one. I just checked. So here, the way I normally do like a bathing suit or whatever is I push this seam toward the back. But since I'm slipping it inside a bodice, and I like the side seams to be stacked so they're not bulky. So, you know, one goes forward and one goes back. But that would cause this to be going the wrong direction. So I should have done it the other way. I need to remember that. That's a lot of glue to go all the way around. And then I'm like thinking about it now. I'm going to see how I feel about it. Let's see what the glue looks like around this arm. I've never done the glue for basting. I don't know if I just don't trust it. Oh, this is stressful. I just want to make sure it's smooth. Sorry for not being able to talk while I do this. This is a wash away glue pen. How about this? Anybody want to try one of these glue pens? I can give one away. Sherry's not on anymore. Hey Colleen, since you're on, I want you to go through the comments and pick a winner and message it to me. Or just announce it in the chat. Can you do that? And we'll send a glue pen to somebody straight from Amazon to you. So really it can be anywhere in the world. I think that would be fun. What do you think? It's a pretty fun. I don't use it enough, apparently. I still resort to my habits. So I use wash away Wonder Tape a lot. I wouldn't use wash away, well, you can. This would work fine for wash away Wonder Tape too. This is actually going quite nicely and it's not as stressful as I imagined. And yes, I have issues with like trying new things. But see, it's not sticking as well as I would like either as I move things around. I don't know if it's the fabric of my bra. I'm seeing if I like it. Maybe I just didn't put enough on. It definitely works well if I had two jerseys here. I think what I'm seeing, there it goes. I just didn't put enough in the right places. I'm like being stingy with my... the fabric that I chose for my bra is a power net from Bra Maker Supply. They have a lot of kits for bras and a lot of notions. All right, I think I'd be done by now, Colleen. Oh, Christy Morrow for the pen. All right, let me write that down because I'll never remember. That's my old notebook. All right, Christy, we will, I'll get your address via PM. Yeah, it does have to be non-gummy. It would help with rolling too. I'm new to the glue pen, I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's switch over to the sewing machine. And I'll wiggle back into there. So I'm just gonna switch to a sorry, I'm getting my basting stitch ready. So I don't use the regular basting stitch on this machine. It just has to do with habits. I just like a really long straight stitch. It has a basting stitch where it goes off the edge, and why did, oh, it went backwards. That's okay. One thing about this machine that my other machine didn't have is the ability to sew without a walking foot on knits. My other sewing machine, it was just too much pressure from the presser foot. Hopefully you can hear me while it's running. And so I did not like to sew knits without my walking foot on. Are you just staring at my hand? Yeah. No, Stephanie, you don't. I only glued one armhole, and it was just taking me a long time, and I'm on camera, so I'm doing what I'm comfortable with. So while you're basting, you really want to make sure that you're not stretching anything out. That's why I'm going a little bit slower. Move my speed back. Bye, Colleen. Oh, you're going to watch. Funny. I did not. It has automatic presser foot adjustment. I can. When I'm top stitching, I actually do put on the walking foot, or I use my cover stitch. But for just this, it does fine. You know, I'd always heard rumors of sewing machines that could handle sewing knits without a walking foot, and I was like, well, that's bananas. And because my first two machines definitely 100% could not, and you could see it every time something was stretched out. But this one does really well. Binding is still a little, it's just not quite as where I would like it, but I think that's more about me than the machine. Okay. So my neckline, I just basted it together. Tried to get it in the seam allowance. So this is supposed to be 1/4 of an inch, but I might have gone a little off as I was staring at the comments. I'm not concerned. I can always take it out later. The important thing is just to keep my fabric from shifting while I'm sewing on my bands. Jacinda, that makes it sound like something's not quite, was it a walking foot made specifically for that machine, or was it a generic walking foot? And were you trying to do a zigzag with it? Because that might be part of it. I used my last walking foot so much that it, if I had serged first, the walking foot would like grind against the serging stitches and just want to eat it, and it would get stuck and everything else. So my glue is holding up just fine. This is the one that I glued. I feel like I didn't put in, where I put glue, it's holding up. I don't know if I just skipped places or what. So we'll leave that. Looks good. All right, I'm gonna go cut out my bands now. And I'm dropping stuff. So here it is all basted together. I'm going to move that off to the side. One thing I need to find is where I wrote down, here it is. If you remember, I lowered the arm side on my pattern pieces. So I'm going to grab my phone. Bear with. All right, I'm going to pull up my calculator and I'm going to recalculate. So for this type of fabric and, well, for this type of fabric, I like to do 90% of the opening. So let me find a pin that we'll actually be able to see. So I have 10.5 on the front and 10.625 on the back. That is very normal to have the back slightly longer than the front. So what I'm going to do is 10.5 minus the front and back seam allowance. So it's, wow, it's 0.375. I just said that wrong. Let's start over, shall we? Bye, Margie. So it's 10.5 minus the seam allowance at the underarm and the shoulder. So 0.375 plus 0.375 is 3/4 of an inch. So it's 10.5 minus 0.75 equals 9.75. For the back, it's the same thing, 10.625 minus 0.75, and it's 9.875. Now I'm going to add these together. I get 19.625. I'm going to multiply it times 0.9. I get 17.66, and then I'm going to add my seam allowance. For me, if I were doing a pattern and the pattern pieces, if I'm doing pattern pieces, I do the normal 3/8 of an inch. But for personal figuring out my own, I just add a 1/2 inch and I'll just do a 1/4 inch seam allowance at the end of my band. So this is plus 0.5 equals 18.1625. I'm just going to do 0.125. Do you have a seam allowance on the top and bottom? Do you just subtract one time? So I subtracted 3/4 of an inch. So this front one is 10.5, just measured. I subtracted the side seam and the shoulder. So those added together are 3/4 of an inch, and I got 9.75. I included the shoulder seam allowance. So over here, it's 10.625, and I did minus 3/8 for the top and minus 3/8 for the underarm. 3/8 plus 3/8 is 3/4. So 9.625 minus 3/4 is 9.875. Does that make sense? So you get 9.75 for the front plus 9.875 for the back. I can't do that in my head. Just going over it again. Is 19.65, and then I multiply that times 0.9 for 90%. 17.6625. This is when I add my seam allowance back. I did. I can't see who this is. Who's talking to me? Jenny. I did. When I figured out 9.875 and 9.75, I subtracted the seam allowance for the front and the back. Okay? Just making sure we're, well, don't always assume my math is right. We all know that I definitely make mistakes. Right? Okay. So now I'm going to add my seam allowance back on for me to sew my band into the round. And like I said before, I'm just going to do a 1/2 inch because it's a personal decision. And I get 18.1625, which I'm just going to round to 18.125. Oh, I love math. I'm trying to sell my kids on the idea that math is the most important subject that they take. All right, so I've got 18.125. That is for my armholes. I'm going to use the table in the tutorial. Where'd it go? Here it is. I did a high front and a low back. So arms, I'm writing this down for next time, is going to be 1.5 long, which is with the grain, times, I already wrote that down, 18.125. For the neckline, I did a high front and a low back. So according to the table for my size, it's going to be 1.5 by 28. And I'm going to do that on the fold as 14. It's just easier for me to do that on the fold. So now I have a dilemma though. This is my main fabric. Do I want to do a different fabric for my binding? Colleen suggested the white, but the stretch on the white is actually going the opposite direction, Colleen. I was thinking the polka dots, but I'm not sure I'm that wild. Reed, I'm boring. That's too much, I think. That's too crazy. I don't know. That could work, though. You would think that I would have the polka dots out, but as I was, quote, cleaning yesterday, I just shoved a bunch of crap back in here, and now, of course, I can't find the polka dots. Good grief. Let this be a lesson in keeping your sewing room clean. Ha ha ha. I can't find the polka dots. Where did I put it? I see, oh, I see that butterfly. Is it weird to have cream? Because that might be the color that looks the worst on me. I don't know. Here's, oh, no, all I can, okay, well this was the polka dots. What do we think? Ooh, darker teal might be pretty. What's not? Somebody said no, it's not, and I don't know what we're talking about there. All right, wow, what are the chances? Like somebody said an ivory might be nice. I actually have ivory right here. What are the chances of that? If you saw underneath my desk, oh, I also have this window pane fabric, which might be a real pain to cut, or it might make it really easy. I kind of like the window pane. It's like both. What do you think? I could just go nuts and do a little bit of everything. Somebody's eye is twitching out there. I can feel it. I also have brown. What am I doing for the skirt? I'm doing the butterflies. Jessica thinks that the solid would look best with the butterflies. I like a little flare though. Let's see how I can. I kind of like that. No to the brown. Use same fabric. Hi. I can't see your name, but hi. Well, you know, the decision might be made for me for the strict reason that I can't find the polka. Oh, it's right here. I'm an idiot. Window pane, polka dots. Oh, pink. See, look at you. Let me see if I have a pink. Well, I only have the light blush pink. which I like hot pink and teal together. That's a little crazy for me. Can't do it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Jessica, too. But I don't have that color, especially as a solid. I'm looking through the last of my... I need to revisit Mel and get a whole bunch of solids again because I have so much room. Yeah, I think... Ooh. I'm trying to dig my way out over here. I don't think I have that color. That's a really hard color to find, too. I only have like this color orange. Ha ha ha. Or tie-dye. That's funny. I have a lot of French terry still, too. All right. Y'all are cracking me up. Fussy cut the window pane. I love you, but it's like a lot of work. How about I cut one out from the window pane and then we decide. Window pane or polka dots? No to the orange. I wasn't really going to do the orange. It's okay. Yeah, that orange was just what I happened to have in my... Oh, that's kind of fun. But this is a French terry. It's not a cotton lycra. And I think it overpowers it too. I like subtly funky, not in your face funky. Polka dots, please. I want to see who said please. Oh, Diane, I love it. All right, so got to get my thoughts back in order here. I'm going to cut out one from this window pane because I have a lot of the window pane, and I'm just going to see if I like it. What do you think of that? I like the polka dots. One thing, I don't like cream against... Can you see this? I mean, it kind of just... It's not my color. You feel me? Polka dots are same. All right. I just want to see it. I'm just curious. I'm just looking. Because otherwise, I don't think this... All right, fine. I like the dots better. And I have a ton of the dots. I could have done... Oh, Pamela, that might be too much for me. I have so much of this polka dots, I definitely could do a whole dress in it. I should be bothered by the roll. I'm just going to cut it off. Sorry. Sorry, had to get some water. It's only Wednesday, and I'm getting parched. All right, we're going to start with the arms. It's 1.5 long. All 5 out of 4 patterns have the length of your bands going with the grain of the fabric. This is really important because I know when I was starting out, when patterns switched it up, and sometimes they meant one thing and sometimes they meant another, it drove me absolutely bonkers. So I'm not going to do that to you. So anytime you are cutting any 5 out of 4 pattern, the length goes with the grain. Really quickly, I'm going to do some math and figure out something. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Okay. This is my oldest ruler, and it's a little harder to see. That's why I should probably get a new one. If this were a custom fabric where I paid a small fortune for it, which I don't buy a lot of customs for that reason, I would work harder to make this lay flat and not waste this fabric. But I'm on the clock and at some point I have to feed myself. I have to pull this down to make room for everything, which does not make me happy. All right. What did I write down? 18.125. I want to be careful that I'm not like overly stretching the fabric as I'm trying to get this straight. There we go. And I'm double checking. 18.125, 1.5. This is for the arms, so I actually need 2 of them. Ugh. This is, yeah, not my favorite. I have got to find my new blades. It's pretty bad when you can't even cut through one single layer of jersey. All right, so there's one arm. I also try and make sure that I don't oh, gotcha. Sorry, Colleen. I also make sure that the fabric's not hanging off the edge of my cutting table because that can stretch it out too. There's so many little things that I try and pay attention to. There's only so much I can do. Come on. I moved my ruler. It doesn't like that. Okay, my arms are done. Oh, Cindy, you know, there are worse things to be addicted to. Stella is having a Bluey birthday party. Oh, I have somebody here. Hold on just a second. Sorry.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm going to say hello and then run because I'm actually in the middle of a live video.
No problem.
But come on in.
Okay to go everywhere?
Yeah, you're good.
You want me just to go out the front when I finish?
Sure, that'd be great.
Perfect.
Good to see you again.
You
I'm
too.
going to leave this crack so the dog can let herself in.
Perfect. Okay if I sign for you too?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, sorry about that. It is springtime in Georgia, which means the roaches are coming back out. On the neckband and armholes, the stretch is the width and not the length. Correct. You always want the stretch to go with the stretchiest part of your fabric. Some fabric, if it's 4-way stretch, which means it stretches equally widthwise and lengthwise, it doesn't really matter. If it's 2-way stretch, you really want to make sure that the width goes with the stretchiest part of your fabric. I'm checking my batteries too, just to make sure I'm good to go here. So good, so far so good. I've got 1 bar left. All right, now I'm gonna cut my neckband. I did this one, I went ahead and just did the math so I could do it on the fold. it is 14 on the fold by 1.5. Ugh. You know, Sherry, one thing to keep in mind too, I'm not going to say that every single pattern company is going to do that the same way, which is a little frustrating, but it's just the truth. I don't want to, that's just how every 5 out of 4 pattern is. Because I hated being confused by that, and we try and make it clear in our patterns. But you always want the stretch of your fabric. Now, I have been known to get a little, to test the boundaries, let's say. And sometimes it's because of what type of fabric I'm using. Like I have a sweatshirt that I made from a French terry. And I wanted to make sure that, sorry, I can't like do math and talk at the same time. I wanted my French terry to be my neckband too, because I did not have a coordinating fabric with enough stretch in it. And this was not a French terry with Lycra. So let me be perfectly clear on that one. So you have to like know when you need to shorten it and stuff like that if you're going to do it anything different than with a fabric with good recovery. I've seen a lot with double brush poly. Oh, they're always saggy. Yeah. So part of that sagginess could be from not having enough recovery in your fabric, which I should totally check the contents of this. So recovery means that it bounces back. So the one way that I can do it is I'll take 4 inches, and this is in the front of our tutorials. I'll take 4 inches and I'll hold on to it and I'll stretch it and see how far it gets. I should probably not be using this as my band because it has 25% stretch versus what we really want is 50% stretch. So this could end badly. I can get it a little bit further, but then does it recover? Yeah, I think I'll be okay. So I've seen some people, Sherry, who like really did a lot of math, and it had to do with circumferences and making sure the neck hole was smaller. And it was a lot for my brain, I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot. I like 90% partly for that reason. All right, 14. Sorry, gotta focus. Colleen, you've had good luck with your bands cut the opposite direction. To be such a purist, that is quite the rebel thing to do. I expect that from Joan. Not in a bad way, I did not mean that negatively, but Joan is much more of a risk taker than I am. So, and I would assume that she's more of a risk taker than you. I get mad if it doesn't work, and then I'm supposed to fix it, and like, you've all seen me wear my, I think it's an Annabeth, where it's saggy, and I just leave it. I have a couple things like that. But then on the Virginia I wore yesterday with the stripe neckband, I cut those stripes the opposite direction, and it worked just perfectly. So really, you gotta fail fast and you gotta fail often. All right, this is taking forever. This is not my most joyous part of sewing. I like to sew. I don't like to cut things. You feel me? I'm getting pretty annoyed, actually. It's just fabric. I know it's just fabric, but that perfectionist side of me, Joan. Bye, Jill. What am I doing? Oh, good grief. I spent that much time and it's not even long enough. Bye, Jenny. I'm almost done to where I'm going to sign off for the day too. I just want to get these bands on. But maybe I'll do that tomorrow because I'm getting hungry. I'm picky, not fussy. Oh my gosh, I went through all that and then I pulled it. All right, you can see that it's still starting to curl. I'm tired of playing with it, so guess what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna cut it off. Yep, I am. I'm okay with that. My computer is in the way and I'm gonna end up knocking something else off and it'll shut off and then we'll be done for the day. And I promise I won't have done it on purpose. So right now I'm making sure that my fold is square. I'm gonna cut it, even though it's only supposed to be 1.5, I'm gonna cut it a little bit wider and then I'm gonna come back and trim it because that curled edge is bugging me. Let me make sure I'm doing it. Yes, on fold 14. Okay. I got a little crazy over here. All right, so 1.5. There we go. So here's my neck band. I've got my arm bands and my neck bands. All right, I am going to sign off here. We're going on 2 hours. I'm going to pin my 2 armbands together so I don't get anything confused. And tomorrow we will regroup with a lot of pressing. Ooh, I don't have any more clips. And getting these neck bands sewn on, and then we'll move on to the skirt. Sound good? So come back to my face. Here I am. Woo! Where's my chair? So hopefully you're not bored to tears and you're enjoying this process. It's a learning process even for me to know what works and what doesn't work with the, I like to say learn to do it right, then do it different. That is the truth. I wholeheartedly agree with that, Colleen. I'm particular too. And I'm also a recovering perfectionist. I'll be perfectly clear. So get your questions ready. On Friday, I'm thinking that we're not going to have a lot more to do, just with the way things are going. Once we get past the neckbands, I'm slow and steady. I'm like the tortoise. I like to go super slow, make sure everything's, because when I race through it, if I grip it and rip it, I don't always have the best luck. So, oh, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate it. It's been super fun to learn how to do all the camera stuff. But now that I have it, I guess I should do more of these. But tomorrow we're going to be talking with Cindy, another person from the family. She is probably going to join me same way with the interview, but she's really funny, and we have a good play between the two of us. So it'll be very entertaining. Yeah, that's all I have for today. I'm going to make sure I keep everything organized and don't get pin marks on my bodice. I'm looking at it, and it's near an open pin, and I'm like, my little heart, I can't take it. If you have any questions about the 5 out of 4 family, just reach out. All of us are happy to help you figure out whatever you need. We do have the community focused on Facebook for right now because most of our users are Facebook users, but our content library is hosted on something called Kajabi. It's just a really easy place for me to upload videos. That's where the swim workshop is held. And I like both. And people frequently sometimes ask about us moving the community off of Facebook, and I can't do it right now. As much as I think about that idea, I have lots of groups that I'm in that have made that jump. Kajabi is there and has a community function, so it would work, but most of our users are still on Facebook. So know that If there ever comes a day where we need to make the leap, we can easily, I might add. But right now, our community is on Facebook. All right. If you have any other questions for me, just reach out. I'm here for you. Everybody, remember, never stop sewing, never stop growing. Come check out the family. We're open through Friday. Bye.